My name is Aminata Jalloh. I'm a Sierra Leonean. I'm working in education development. And when I grew up, I was raised in the US, but both of my parents were nurses. So at a very early age, I was exposed to kind of issues impacting health and wellness. And although I didn't follow the health track immediately, I ended up in education. I had a really strong awareness of how things you do at home can impact your well-being. My business is called Africa's Best. Africa's Best is an infant cereal line that hopes to develop infant products, including baby foods for young children in Sierra Leone. Recognizing the need for nutritious, high-quality cereals for children was really important to me, considering how Sierra Leone has a high incidence of malnutrition and stunting. So initially, me and one of my partners, Faben, Zenebe, who's based in Ethiopia, we're talking about how these issues of health, nutrition, and infants are really impacting both Sierra Leone and her country, Ethiopia. And we kind of talked about what areas are really fueling this epidemic of child malnutrition and stunting. And in both countries, it had to do with wellness and feeding. Although Sierra Leone has an abundance of natural resources and wonderful food, for some reason it wasn't being translated to young children. Traditionally, young families who are raising children were feeding kind of adult foods that they would mash up and give to the child, and if they could afford, they would get food that was imported, infant cereals. So I saw that this was an issue. There was kind of a gap between what was affordable to people and then also high quality and high nutritious food. We have two range of products. Well, it's in the conception phase, but there's two ranges. We have an organic line and we have a standard line. The organic line is going to be primarily marketed to the international market. It's infant cereals focusing on a grain and either a fruit or vegetable. The first one is brown rice, a single grain. That way it can be introduced after 6 months. Studies show that after 6 months of exclusive breastfeeding, it's really important to introduce complementary foods to kind of encourage the growth of young children. So this one is simply brown rice. Then the next stage would be a brown rice mixed with another fruit or vegetable. And here, because we have a huge plantain, mango, and lentil industry or resources, we decided to use those 3 ingredients to make 2 serving or 2 ingredients product lines. And then the other one will be the same, but it would be a non-organic to make it more affordable and single serving, so it's more accessible to families here in Sierra Leone. The small scale farming, a lot of the food is generally organic, but there are certain standards in terms of international export that have to be met to qualify as an organic product. So when we have our organic line, we're going to make sure we adhere to those standards so it could be exported on a massive level. In terms of the smaller scale, the local products, we still, for the most part, we're starting at the small scale farmers. A lot of it is organic, so it does include pesticides. It includes natural fertilizer like manure and things like that, but there still has to be kind of quantifiable regulations about what it does to meet the standard organic international market. So on the market, there is one Sierra Leonean brand, and it's actually a pretty good brand, but there's not that much variety in terms of product offerings with that brand, so we're hoping to expand. And also we're hoping to, with this organic line, it's something new and different, use it and market it in the international community, primarily in West Africa. The other competitors in terms of infant cereals in Sierra Leone is imported cereals, and those are really costly for most families to be able to afford. And also there's also issues around when they're imported here and the shelf life, and oftentimes when they're imported, they don't have a very long shelf life because they've been overseas for some time and they finally make it to Sierra Leone. So ours would be something that's manufactured here in Sierra Leone in Africa, African product, and the shelf life will be great because it's made here and it doesn't have to take months and months and months to finally make it to our shores. Creating a brand that's Sierra Leonean and that's available for export, I think that's something that's very unique. Oftentimes we look at other places to have something that's more valuable and more interesting and great and have more value than our own things. And here, Sierra Leone, all of the stuff that's being exported to manufacture these products are things that are grown here in Sierra Leone. So why not make something here that has our name and create a brand and also build capacity of people here and create jobs? The seed funding from Impact Hub will help because it will give me an opportunity to do, one, not just market research, but also create an infrastructure and a base to start hiring and recruiting staff to develop this idea. I'm really committed to having everything done in Sierra Leone, and this funding will really help me do that. My experience has been really great. I've been able to work with my coach one-on-one, and she's talked to me and mentored me through areas of struggle and times where I was kind of hesitant and doubting myself and my ability to do my project. Even the people part of the organization have been really wonderful in helping me just kind of work through certain issues here. There was some time where I was overseas and I had to communicate and talk to them, and they've been responsive even with the time difference and my many questions. So it's been a wonderful experience regardless of what happens. I'm definitely walking away with a lot of skills and more confidence in my idea and my concept.